It was recently announced that LCS will now be sponsored by FTX, which is a crypto exchange company. And they actually just got an insane amount of funding within the US. And so now they're like a multi-billion-dollar company. I think they're past 10 billion, in fact. So it's a really big company at this point, and it's getting pretty major. But on top of that, there are some weird sections of FTX in regards to operating within the US, and the fact that there is an individual, like, different US site that you have to use if you want to use FTX and exchange crypto on there and whatnot. Now, a lot of fans are angry about this partnership because it comes after TSM's multi-million-dollar deal with FTX themselves, and the fact that they got sponsorship, but they could not wear FTX logos on their jerseys for both their Valorant and their League of Legends teams. And so a lot of fans initially were thinking, well, how the fuck did TSM get away with this deal if one of the main things of a sponsor is that, to have the logo on the jersey so that, people signify that, okay, this logo or this company is associated with TSM, etc. Now, TSM obviously was barred from this. Let me go ahead and pull up Jacob Wolf's report, and the fact that, yes, they can't wear FTX on their jerseys and whatnot. So this was pretty shocking for a lot of people. But now that comes with the idea, well, why was that the case? And, well, partially it's because of the blurring of jerseys and whatnot, and the fact that come international time, that if TSM were to make it to something like a Worlds or an MSI or whatnot, that would affect the broadcast, and so therefore they can't actually have it on the jersey, right? And I'm going to go ahead and pull up a tweet here from Chris Greeley, the commissioner, which states that, in fact, this does not change our league-wide stance on cryptocurrency exchange sponsors. LCS activations with FTX can be removed from broadcast when needed in regions that limit cryptocurrency advertising, aka China. A sponsor that appears on apparel or other non-digital activation cannot, in like brackets, be removed, right? Because it's literally on their jerseys, obviously. And they would probably have to wear like some kind of black patch over it or something. And so this is the reason why TSM can't have it on their jerseys. And this may seem like hypocrisy in the beginning of just like, oh, why can LCS have it, but TSM can't? And it's because, yeah, as Chris Greeley said, it can be removed from broadcast, right? It's just a picture of a logo on the broadcast, or they wouldn't do the segment or whatnot, right? So there's that, and I don't understand the logical fallacies of why TSM fans are getting so angry about it. Now, what you can point to is the ties of both basically Tencent, right, which owns Riot Games, and then China, which Tencent is basically China anyways. And the fact that, let me pull up here. So there are some regulations for FTX, and the fact that you cannot exchange on FTX with Chinese money, aka RMB, their currency over there. And so that means that essentially Chinese people can't use FTX, right? And this is very intentional, obviously, because there has been a massive crackdown on mining and crypto exchanges within China, and that's also part of the reason as to why a lot of cryptos have recently started to tank, and that was because China started cracking down. And in fact, I think they did something like they closed down 90% of crypto mining within China, right? And it was a very big operation over there, obviously. So that's what happened over there. And, people were saying, oh, it's because crypto isn't green and whatnot, and it takes so much power consumption. And it's like, okay, first of all, Bitcoin doesn't take as insane power consumption as people think, in terms of everyone always cites Ethereum, which Ethereum does take a lot of power. In fact, I think it's something like 8 times more power consumption than Bitcoin does. And it's because of the way that Ethereum authenticates the transaction. And it's just a different but yet more secure way of authenticating the transaction. As far as I understand, I'm like a complete crypto novice, but that's essentially it in a nutshell. And China, of course, and the whole world ended up saying, oh, yeah, it's because of the green initiative, when in fact, Ethereum 2.0 is supposed to come out, which essentially gets rid of the processing power that is required, of massive processing power to process Ethereum, and what they call the gas fee, right, in order to exchange crypto among 2 different accounts and whatnot, and to mine crypto itself. So, and then you have to think, just even still, if Ethereum costs a lot of money, or rather energy consumption, to power it, first of all, we're going towards electricity as our main energy consumption anyways, right? Instead of coal or gas or oil. So that's still better than what we're doing. And then finally, you have to think of just the actual infrastructure that needs to be done in terms of transporting actual physical money, and the fact that you need loads of trucks, you need a printing press, you need all these diesel fucking trucks and machines and stuff. So you don't think that also isn't contributing to the environmental impact? So I just don't buy it that people go behind this idea of cryptocurrency is like this evil or whatnot that needs to be extinguished, when in fact the whole point of cryptocurrency is to decentralize money to where banks, probably one of the most evil industries in all of humanity and all of existence, which is then controlled by governments, obviously, so that governments can have power over people with money, which kind of runs the world. And so, well, if you have it decentralized, it's probably better than anything, which is the whole reason as to why crypto was invented. Which, now let's get to the second point of this, which is China's new currency, which is called ECNY. So this is their new official cryptocurrency from China, and it is endorsed by the basically the Bank of China, right? It's the Public Bank of China, the PBOC, and this is backed by the government and everything. And this is legal tender, in fact, in China, to where you can actually use it. And they are having government incentive programs to where they're giving away free ECNY so that you can use it at, big stores like Walmart or like McDonald's or whatever the fuck, right? And it's just free money in order for you to start your wallet and start, buying ECNY with your RMB, right? Your Chinese money, the currency that they use over there, the fiat currency. And so if you look at the actual statistics of China and the fact that they're already basically digital for currency anyways, and the fact that they use WeChat, which is owned by Tencent, by the way, and WeChat it dominates the entire market in terms of the payment system. It's WeChat and Alibaba, right? Or Alipay. Those two take up 90% of digital payments in all of China, which is fucking, nuts. And so recently, let me pull up the white paper here. So recently, the PBOC released this white paper. This is their white paper, and they talk about just why they did the ECNY and the benefits of it and whatnot. And as you can see, I think it's let me see if I can find it here. I got through most of this. So there's a section where they talk about so they talk about anonymity of cryptocurrency and whatnot, which is the second bonus of why cryptocurrency was invented in the first place was it was anonymity, right? It was you have your wallet, that's it, and anyone can give you money to that wallet. It's like an IP address, right? So that IP address is unique. Anyone can get a hold of your IP address and send you money, but they can't take out money from your address, right? So this is how cryptocurrency essentially works in a nutshell. And so what the Public Bank of China wants to do is, they support managed anonymity. So, which obviously means that it's not completely anonymous. And so what's absurd if you go through this entire white paper is here's a one section which is just absurd because it goes against what cryptocurrency is, which is decentralized banking, and the fact that they talk about how it operates in that there's a single tier operation under which the central bank directly provides issuance, circulation, and maintenance services for the general public. So basically, they give you the token, they help you circulate it, and then they do maintenance of it too, and they do the destruction of the currency itself and how they either put in more coin or they take out more coin or whatnot. So this is essentially why FTX can't be on the international broadcast, why TSM can't have it on their jerseys, is because of Tencent, right? You just read between the fucking lines. And this isn't like a whole fucking grand scheme of like energy consumption and like some Elon Musk shit of talking one way, two-faced of just like, oh yeah, well, I'm not accepting Bitcoin at Tesla because it's not green, even though we just bought like billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin anyways. And we're going to hold on to that, but we're going to say with our other face that, oh yeah, we're not accepting Bitcoin at Tesla, but we still own essentially a lot of stock, right, of Bitcoin, right? So it's absurd, but I think the coolest thing about this entire FTX relationship is that it's essentially funding a cool award, or rather they're just putting a name on it, of the most improved player award, which is one of the things that everyone has been clamoring about, that this would be a sick award, especially for the LCS because we don't have many rookies. Now it's a little bit too late in the annals of history because now we are having more rookie players, so our rookie award kind of makes sense now, but we take what we can get. But yes, all in all, no, it isn't a hypocrisy that TSM can't put the logo of FTX on it, other than the fact that Riot Games is controlled by Tencent, which is then controlled by China, which has animosity towards cryptocurrency. That's why it's not happening.